Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, knock, knock, knock. And let's see what we have going on tonight. Looks like we have a big horse. You can tell I'm a little bit older. My first thought was, it's a horse, of course. Okay. All right, so I want to look at the card first. We have the Queen of Wands, and this is from the Thoth deck. And this is a card that is so much about transformation, being in your wisdom, your sexual nature, sexual understanding, also being open and understanding of love in its many forms, deeply, and I think with more understanding of what you want and need, right? But being a lot more empathetic, right? And also less superficial kinds of ideals, restrictions, preferences, this kind of thing. I think as we develop and we live life, we go through different kinds of scenarios, situations, ordeals. We win some things, we lose some things. Some of the more superficial ideas that we have about relation and in all of the kinds of love, love of our family and ourself and our romantic partners and of divine things and beings and gods and goddesses and all these things. As we become more developed people, a lot of that stuff falls away, right? And it's just more about being able to connect in a way that that flows, that feels holistic, that allows us the space to be ourselves, to enact our will, and to also live in honor of the will of the people that we commune with. So this also has very much that snake of fire, which has a lot to do with the activation of the body, not just the sexual chakras or centers, but that as well. So let's see what we have going on. Well, and we talked about the horse. I didn't go into the horse, but we saw the horse. Okay, so we'll start with the horse. And this one seems like it looks like it's kind of in a posture of maybe feeding. We have these little pieces here, the body, the head's kind of coming down, and this is kind of a relaxed, it's not running, there's nobody riding it, it's not pulling any kind of cart or anything. So this is really all about you yourself being the central concern of your life right now, which when circumstances, a lot of self-focus, self-care, self-development, that is a wonderful time, in my opinion. Even when we're doing difficult difficult excavations and of self, and processing and working on our traumas, and you know, and working hard in our life to cultivate resources, get our foundation set, building our homes, this kind of thing. It's a lot of work, some, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but it is a privilege, isn't it? So I really feel like you are just in a place of, you know, deep knowledge of self. There's a lot of confidence. The horse is one of the, you know, most sturdy, has a lot of stamina, you know, can go very fast, but also quite graceful. Nothing more beautiful than seeing wild horses run together. And there is just an aspect of pleasure in animals like this, just enjoying their ability to run, to be together, to socialize with their tribe, and also, you know, you just think of the wind blowing through their hair, and their running and delight, jumping around, and so I feel that you are really in a place of pleasure just because of your position in life. I feel that you have done a lot of work. You are probably a self-made person. I think that you've worked for every scrap of what you have. Nobody can say that you are just handed everything. You have always been quite unique, maybe a little eccentric in some areas of your life, but always very devoted to your passions, to your interests, to your abilities. Whatever talents you have taken the time to hone them. You know, you put in the work to build up your skills. And in this position of the Queen of Wands, it seems that this is really starting to pay off for you. You are in your place of power, and there is a lot of pleasure in that power, and you are not afraid to show it. You are confident, not pride. You have pride. You take pride in the work that you have done, the work that you do, and the work that you will do. But you are not prideful and arrogant in an arrogant way. Okay, maybe it seems to some people sometimes, but it's, you know, in this day and age, it's hard to sometimes tell the difference between being arrogant and being having pride for the things that you do for yourself. But I don't think you care. I don't think you care what people think, and that's a wonderful freedom. I think that you like I'm talking about with the horse running, I feel that you are very much in this kind of cycle of things going and manifesting the way that you want them to. Things are aligned in such a way that you are really receiving a lot of blessings, but that's not, it's just not, you know, random. It's because you have put in that work. You've set things up so that these blessings can happen in your life. And I think that you're really in a place of splendor, just really immersed in your senses. I think that you're excited for things. You are going out and finding, you know, new interests, places to go, really not holding back too much. Okay. But I also think that you are, you know, maybe sometimes you spend more than you should, or, You don't plan as much as you might, ought to. But I don't think that you're completely frivolous with your resources or your time. Like I said, I think you're very devoted. You're devoted to your craft, your skills, your work, your passions. So I don't feel like it's ever really frivolous, but I do think it in some places, maybe in resources, especially money, probably, there could be some tempering, maybe more education or, having somebody help you make a plan or somebody to help manage some of that stuff, some of your assets. And let's go. Let's look. And we have right in the center, this one looks like some kind of like antelope or a deer of some kind. Beautiful, a lot of vitality. Again, very graceful, not unlike the horse. This is a little more lean though. This is a little more wild, quick, and I think also probably a little more observant of their surroundings. This is an animal that is preyed upon often, maybe less so than the horse. A lot of horses are domesticated or they're in, spaces that are controlled to some degree. But I think an animal like this is, vigilant in a way, but still able to potentialize their pleasure, their enjoyment, and I do see just a lot of this graceful movement forward. Okay, again, very much that idea of being in their splendor, but I think, as we said, kind of thinking about some of the details, tempering self a little bit here and there, being aware too of the people that you let into your life or around you. I think it's quite a Taurus quality to be not necessarily trusting of everyone, but not in everybody's business. Just kind of live and let live. Well, that can lead to sometimes not being super discerning about who you let around you. And this is very much a time of protecting your peace and continuing on this road of, just really solidifying your wisdom, taking that knowledge of self and transmuting it into a deeper wisdom. And so I think that this is very much the energy, being probably a little more aware of who you're choosing to spend your time with. Now we have these two. These are, they look like eyes. On the flip side, they look like exclamation marks, but I've been reading them as candles. So there's actually a third one right here. So there's a lot of illumination happening. I also get the instinct, we have these two next to each other, almost like two columns, but I get the impression that there is somebody in your life who is probably maybe a fire sign. And I feel like maybe that we have kind of the flame almost looks like an owl here. Okay, so I feel like this is a person who maybe is a little bit older than you. And I feel like you look at them, you see a lot of wisdom. Like they understand the world. They're maybe very worldly. I think because they're maybe a little older, I think that you have a great affinity for them. There's just a lot of love, adoration. Because these two are kind of facing each other, I feel that there's a sense of them being on your mind a lot, but I also think that you will be coming together again soon. I think that there's maybe been some kind of separation for a while. I don't think that was like a problem or anything, but just the circumstances of life kind of led you apart. And I think that something will be coming up where maybe you will be spending time together. There might be some kind of a visit or a vacation or some kind of event, but I think that you'll be together for more than just like one day. I think that there's going to be a period of time where you are seeing each other often. And I feel like, I almost wonder if this is like somebody that's like an old lover or a really dear friend, somebody that it's very close, but there is a kind of a blurred line between friendship and some kind of amorous feelings towards one another. Okay. And because we have this kind of illuminating symbol and we have it 3 times, very powerful. It's even in kind of this triangle, in this trifecta here. I think that whatever it is, I think that they're really, when you get together, I feel like there's a lot of, building of ideas, really deep conversations, thinking about things that maybe you don't think about often, but having somebody who can really get in that frequency with you, you're on the same vibe, you can go really deep, you can talk for hours and hours and hours. This is going to be a very illuminating period of time for the both of you. And I think that this is really going to feel so powerful. And, just let's face it, I think the older that we kind of get in life, and we have it gets more and more difficult to really connect with people almost in an organic way, right? Unless you're like going somewhere where you're meeting people who are kind of into the same things, or you've already developed friends. It's hard to organically get to these really deep, open, authentic places with others. And so when it happens, it's such a blessing, and it is so profound, I think. And I think for you, this is really going to be an important period of time, an important kind of meeting of minds and hearts, and that kind of beloved feeling. I also am seeing, as I'm talking about this, there is a little sailboat here. So maybe there will be some kind of, it could almost feel like this is like a vacation from your reality, or maybe you are traveling together, but I get the sense of sailing away, being a little more carefree. Everything is going smoothly. It's just a very kind of invigorating, but with ease, right? And so I think this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful little period of time coming up for you. I also see this, it's a pot, like a pot, and it looks like a flower or plant growing out of it, but it looks like it kind of has arms. So I feel like this is really, again, with that growth, there's a lot of like a sense of being watered, right? And coming alive beneath the sunlight. Really just embracing all of the elements and sensations and flourishing and but, you know, remaining grounded, definitely. Contained in some way, okay? I mean, there is that aspect. If there is the pot there, it's, you know, there's still a bit of containment happening. But no matter, there is still that beautiful growth, okay? I also see we have, it looks like a Y here. So maybe somebody with a Y name. And also it looks maybe like a lowercase r. So maybe two important letters, Y and R. Okay, so we have, this one looks kind of like a cane. So I'm wondering, we have a cane here and like a little rose here. And it almost feels like, and I'm seeing up here a dog. I kind of almost get this little story in my head as I'm looking at this. I think of maybe like a grandfather, a grandparent, somebody who is older when you were young. I wonder if they had a dog that when you would visit, you would play with the dog, or you just really had some kind of quiet relation with the dog. Like you felt very attached to them in some way, but I don't think you were necessarily around this dog all the time. I also see maybe something like a garden. Maybe they were a gardener. Maybe they had a rose garden. I really feel like you were pretty young. I almost like the rose bushes were towering over you, but I get this feeling of going and visiting, and I feel like this has been coming up for you in dreams maybe, or some kind of like visitation. Maybe there is some kind of messaging coming through from this family member, or maybe they were a neighbor. I don't know, but it seems like a very loving kind of presence, really kind of looking over you, and I think just really embracing, like almost a sense of being proud of what you have done with your life. And I think it feels really good. It just is nice. You don't need, you don't need the approval, but for it to be there is a nice feeling, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at this with the plate. We don't really have a lot. We have 3 little pieces, and they are kind of in a nice line there. So, I feel like the 3 must be important because we had the 3 candles. We have these 3 dots. These ones are kind of beautifully symmetrical. I feel that maybe in the next 3 weeks, this is going to be playing out. I think that everything is just really kind of going your way, Taurus. This has been just a really kind of transformative last couple of months for you. And I feel that it just, it's something about this year that feels like it really, though, collectively it's been difficult for all of us in different ways. I think in your personal life, this has been a better year for you. Maybe not the best year ever, but I think that you have had a lot of just, you know, pulling yourself up and really doing the things that you want to do. Feeling like you are coming into yourself deeply. Not just the beginning of that. I feel that you're in that queen configuration. Feeling very, you know, you've already done a lot of the work and you're feeling very confident about what you're doing. And you're going to continue to do these things. You have found a love for whatever it is in your life. But also I feel that you are very much a person that embraces change. You really are not lamenting the passage of time. You probably maybe are one of the few that really enjoy getting older. And you know, I mean, I personally do, because I feel like, oh, I have survived another day. So, you know, I don't mind feeling old. I don't mind getting older. So I think that there's really this vibe of finally feeling like you know yourself enough that you're getting settled. But not settled into a fixed position, but getting settled into accepting yourself, loving yourself, embracing who you are. And that's a wonderful place to get into. I mean, some people never do. And then there are other people who are lucky enough to find that, to have done a lot of work to get there. And you're one of those people, I think. So I want to thank you so much for the time that you have spent with me. And I am always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. And we are all growing this channel, and it's going slowly, but it is happening. So I really appreciate it. I'm always amazed that we are really becoming a community and doing so well. I just, I hope that I've lost my train of thought for 2 seconds. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. We are on a schedule where each sign is getting read once a week. So in the next 7 days from now and when Taurus comes out again, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising. A lot of people watch Venus, and there are tons of people cross-watching. So you can watch the readings for your loved ones, your partner, whatever it is. That is always fun to do, to see what's going on in their life. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I love reading every single one of them. You all are so sweet and encouraging, and I love hearing your stories and everything. And then what else? Oh, I wanted to mention there is now a membership tier, which is a support tier. So you are supporting the channel when you become a member. Okay, I want to thank you. We will talk again real soon, Taurus.